Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Doodle Robot. I'm so excited! Today we're going to finish up my series 2024 year in review. These are the 10 best, I think, the 10 best pictures that I created in 2024. I'm also going to tack on at the end the 10 best from 2023. I didn't get to do it because I was moving. Everything was in boxes. And by the time I got unboxed, the moment had passed. So yeah, these are in no particular order. I find these very hard to do, like to rank things and to pick out the best. I mean, there's some, we all have our favorites, but like just trying to narrow it down to a few is really hard for me. And on any given day, I could pick different ones, and that's the same case here. And I did leave out some, I think more from 2023, but that are actually altered pages, which I'm going to save for an altered video so as not to be too repetitive in these videos. So keeping that in mind, like I said, they're not in any order, just the order I kind of plunked them down on the table in. You can tell me which one's your favorite, your top 3 or whatever in the comments, or tell me about your favorite. I pick favorites for different reasons. Maybe I thoroughly enjoyed working on it, I liked the mediums, or I liked experimenting and trying something new and being surprised at the outcome. A lot of different reasons I pick favorites. So, with no further ado, we'll get on with it. 2024 was, I think, the most, aside from my black and white book, the artist I did the most was Hannah Karlzon. I probably worked in, I don't know, 5 or 6 of her books, which is odd because up until that point I had only done like 2 or 3 of hers, even though I have all the books. So this is Summer Nights, and we've got the little lizard here. Oh, and my studio's coming along. It's almost put back together, new and improved. So hopefully my filming situation's a little better. Notice no shaky camera. The table still shakes, but not the camera. So yeah, this is mostly Prismacolor, a little bit of water-based marker. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's acrylic paint or metallic watercolor, but yeah, just like 95% of it is Prismacolor, I would say. All right, let's move on. Up next, we have a buddy color. This is with Maya and Carrie K. Look away, ladies, if you don't want to see it, because I finished it early. But I really like this one. I thoroughly enjoyed working on it. Probably because I got to use watercolor. Oh, and the paper in this is, what is this? Midwinter Magic. The paper takes the watercolor really well. And I tend not to, once I get going, I tend not to be very like, oh, don't put too much water on there. I just forget, and I get into the moment. So there's watercolor base here. These are watercolor based, and then with water-based markers on top. That's like one of my go-tos. So I already showed this in my 2024 pages, but yeah, I didn't think it was, I was pleasantly surprised at the outcome. I didn't think I was gonna like it that much, but I really like the brick wall. But I really like brick walls. In general, I am drawn to pages with them. All right. Okay, so that was Midwinter Magic. Up next is Occult and Folklore. Sorry, gotta get organized over there so my books don't all fall off the table. Occult and Folklore by Duchess of Lore. I did several in here, but the one I really like, oh, that's a buddy color, is apparently not to be found. Alright. Technical difficulties here. Oh my gosh. Here we go. I see the paper. It is the Madonna and Cat, or Cat Lady and Cat. I think I started this one in 2023, finished it up in 2024. This was just a stemming moment for me. But when I'm not in a stemming mood, I went back and, added what I need to. I really, really like how the cat came out. It was here I decided, oh, I'm giving up on fur. I don't like doing fur. I don't like the little flecky marks. I'm just going to do them flat, and we'll call it stylized. All right, so that is Occult and Folklore. Mostly Prismacolor there. Oh, kind of an odd one compared to the rest. This is Wee Wickets by the fabulous Karlzon. I always have to say that when I say Carla's name. This was an experiment gone awry. Lots of shininess on this paper. I was doing an experiment and I was painting the background just with alcohol. Plain alcohol, nothing else. The brush was dirty. And I'm like, oh no. Now my experiment didn't work. But I had to purposely dirty the brush and finish so it would kind of be even. But I really like that effect. It takes away the threat of the white paper, which, many artists get hung up on. And I thoroughly enjoyed doing the rest of it. I was doing little scribbly things. Lots of little scribbly things. I was just experimenting and going crazy. I mean, there's nothing left to lose. I felt I kind of messed it up the background. Although once I really got going, I just embraced the moment and went for it. I really like how it came out. All right. Sorry about that small break there. I had to sneeze. And that is Karla Magana, Wee Wickets. All right, next up is Daydreams. It was hard to pick, but I gave myself, it's like we're going to do one from every book. So there were a couple in here I wanted, but the one I went with was this one, Tiny Life at the Base of a Tree. I like how it came out, but what I did differently was I painted the background just with my usual apple barrel matte acrylic paints. And because they're matte, you can go over them with colored pencil. And I didn't water them down. This still worked. The colored pencil still worked on it. I created the whole background I wanted to look like the bark of a tree. So it's way down at the base of the tree where the tiny life is. I also, here, I think, maybe this was the second time. I'm not sure if it was the first time. They're very close together. I used my dragonfly glaze. I tinted it with some water-based markers, so it's got a slight look of blue there, if you can see it. So yeah, this was super fun. A little bit of Prismacolor, water-based markers, acrylic paint markers, acrylic paint. Truly a mixed media page there. Everything is slightly different. I think some gouache even. Yeah. All right. Up next is Animal Kingdom. This is by Millie Murata. This is an altered page. All right, we've got the grasshopper page. This took forever. That pink is acrylic paint back there, so I had to paint around all their little legs and antenna and stuff like that. I put in the bubbles. I drew a strip over here, blacked it out, added stuff. I kind of like yellow, yellow, yellow. That seemed like good composition. Here, this is a stencil. I just thoroughly enjoyed working on it, even though it took forever. It seemed like it was pleasant to work on the entire time. And I got to do my favorite thing. I based with water-based markers and went over them with gel pen. In this case, the grasshoppers. I'm having a big Millie Murata moment right now. Seems to be the thing. Oh, I want that new book so bad. Her new one that just came out. I'm kind of in a low buy mode though, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Maybe if Amazon has a sale or something. Alright, that was Animal Kingdom by Millie Murata. Up next is Seasons by Hannah Karlzon again. I don't know. Oh, I remember. It was the Little Foxy Roxies. I love this page. I love working on it. When this is in my group color, where it's the Hannah Karlzon group. I was not thrilled about this page for some reason, and I looked up some, and all the samples I could find had bokeh backgrounds. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll start there. And I'm like, well, I don't want to do a real bokeh background, so I just did a fake bokeh background. And there's a whole video on how I did that. Somebody wanted to know. It's just with metallic acrylic paints on the base, and then metallic acrylic paints for the dots to kind of give a fake bokeh-like background. I based the little foxes and then did Prismacolor on top. This is after I'd given up on the whole hair thing, or fur. I guess they have fur. I'm like, I'm just gonna do it the way I like to color. So the smoosh effect, because I'm a Prismacolor baby. Okay, so water-based markers as well. Yeah, that was so fun. I think the bows I just did with water, like all the jewels and stuff, are just water-based marker. They're not even colored pencil. The little things are all water-based marker. I don't think anything bled through. Oh, we have a little bit of ghosting. But it's a person, so I'm not apt to do the people usually. All right, so yeah, that was fun, and it just kind of, even though I wasn't excited, once I got going, I got excited about it. All right, up next is the Night Voyage. This was a long time buddy color with Maya. I finished years later. This is an altered page again. I drew on all these mandalas. I did my trick where I like to kind of messy watercolor paint, and then in this case, I went over some of the areas with colored pencil. So then you get that mottled look where the colored pencil isn't blocking it out. I went around them with white, I don't know, white Posca or gel pen, I don't know. This mandala is water-based markers. Actually, I think most of this, the background is a dollar store marker, and most of the stuff here is water-based markers too. So mostly this is a marker page. Total markers. Yeah, I got careless, and there's bleed through on there, but it's okay. I think that might be colored pencil. Crayola colored pencil, maybe. I think the rest is watercolor markers. Yeah, I tend to be leaning in that direction lately. All right. Oh, this one was a fun one. I thoroughly enjoyed this. This is Alice's Little Wonderlands, Francesca Rossi. And this one's sort of altered. I mean, basically there was the snake and Alice and the bird, and the rest of the page was blank. So basically I just filled it up. I don't know if we can count that as altered. But my goal was, I had been watching, I don't watch that many coloring videos anymore. Mostly I watch, watercolor painting and journaling, and yeah, I've gone in that direction for some reason. So, yeah, I wanted it to make it look like it had layer upon layer upon layer, and kind of the journaling style. I threw in a little bit of collage. These shapes are collaged on there just with collage paper, just because I wanted to try that too. I've been watching a lot of collage videos. So everything else is pretty much water-based marker, I think. So, and this was for a hashtag, NOV November, but just NOV Mad Tea Party, I think was the hashtag. That was for Jamie's Coloring Love. Yeah, which got me to do something, that I probably wouldn't normally have picked. So, thank you, Jamie. All right, Alice's Little Wonderland. This is the last one. This is Tomislav Tomic. Yeah, I can't even say that. I don't want to butcher it. And this was a buddy color again with the fabulous JoJo at Johanna, which I finished many years later. I was on a finishing things kick, so this is the page. I really like this. Now, I started it when I mostly worked in Prismacolor. And then so like the background is Prismacolor, a lot of the fence is Prismacolor, but I couldn't seem to get myself to go back to it because I work less in Prismacolor. But I just, I was on that finishing whips kick, and I'm like, well, my paint was staring at me, and I'm like, I'm going to use the paint. I'm just going to use the paint. So there's a lot of my granulating watercolors, because that was a thing in 2024. And markers, and I think I did, since I had done Prismacolor here, I used similar Prismacolors, so there's Prismacolor. But where I could get away with it, I used marker and gel pens and paint pens and watercolor and stuff like that. So yeah, I like how it came out. Shininess, love it. I think 2025, I think my goal is to do another Tomislav Tomic page. I think I want to do it in the other book. That way I'll have, at least one in each book. He's one of my favorite illustrators. I wish he'd release more like this in the US. It'd probably sell like hotcakes, I would think. All right, that is it for 2024. We're on to 2023 now. This was a buddy color with Coloring Jen, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. This is Medieval Tapestries by Marty Noble. And I picked this one. Oh, it took forever. But I based it on the actual tapestry, so it's as close as I could get it to the actual tapestry. I did add some sparkly highlights, though, which are probably not in the original tapestry. But I was there trying to make myself blind, trying to do the colors pretty much like the tapestry. So that was, a fun experience. Now, some of the littlest things I probably deviated, like little flowers and stuff. But for the most part, I tried to make the other stuff look like the actual tapestry. I like doing that. Although it wasn't drawn as close to the tapestry as I would have liked. I was looking at some things and I'm like, that is not there. so yeah, it made my brain hurt for a little bit trying to do that. But yeah, that was fun challenge. I enjoyed that. Thank you, Jen, for that. Up next was another buddy color with Heidi at I think it's HCH. I think she's on sabbatical from doing videos. I'm not really sure. Futuristic Worlds coloring book, another Creative Haven, or well, that one was Dover, but same thing. Josh Carrington. I just like this one because of the bright, super bright colors. I'm crazy about this color palette. It wasn't what I intended. As you can see, I based everything in alcohol marker and I had like totally different colors, and then here, like this down here was blue. And then it became pink. So when you mess up like that, there's always acrylic paint. You can just acrylic paint over it and it's totally fine. So here was one of those things where I outlined in kind of like contrasting colors. So we have contrasting colors around the clouds, contrasting colors around the flower, the little boy, sad boy there, contrasting colors here on whatever that is, water or clouds or something, I don't know. Yeah, this is a super good book. I love this book. So yeah, thank you, Heidi. All right, up next, this was a fan favorite. I got a lot of comments about this. Now, I don't really post on Instagram just because I don't like Instagram. But in my video, it seemed like this one got the most comments, and it was just, this is Hannah Karlzon, Space. The Final Frontier. This was just me trying to relax, trying to kind of like stem and relax with just flat acrylic painting. That is my like go-to relaxing thing. Also these days now, Prismacolor pencil, just 1 or 2, maybe 3 colors at the max. But yeah, that's how I just relax my mind. So it's mostly my Apple Barrel matte acrylic paints and paint pens. That's it. Nothing fancy. I was just trying to, be easy and relaxed, but for some reason, a lot of people like this one. I mean, I like it too. I didn't think people would like it though, but I like that flat look in art, in posters, in advertising. That minimalist appeals to me greatly. So, yeah. So a space coloring book, another Hannah Karlzon jewelry box. This one is altered in the sense that the background was blank. That's a lot of blank space there. And I wanted to do checkerboards on it, so I did the checkerboard background with my stencil that I have and some silky gel crayons. I did the writing, the asemic writing. And the dragonflies are also a stencil that I have. Those are just an acrylic paint pen. And the flies, I think they're flies, are just acrylic paint pens or gel pens. They're both mixed together. So with flat and shiny ones together. So you can see I thoroughly enjoyed doing that page. It came together quite quickly. I mean, it was time consuming, but it was a relatively easy page. 2023 was all about bugs, I think. We have Incredible Insect Designs by Marty Noble again. This one, I think, is what kicked off the bug craze. So it's very shiny. Lots of glitter on there. The scarabs. I love the Egyptian look. Oh, we got glitter going everywhere. Love the Egyptian look. I was inspired by Jamie's Coloring Love to use my shiny gel pens together. I think mostly I used them as accents up until this point, and then I really got into the whole, oh, let's use them together and see what happens. So, yeah, I love that one. I want to do more in this book. I could see myself finishing this book because it's just so cool. Okay. Up next, we have Alan Robert, Beauty of Horror 3. This was a whip for a long, long time, but I happened to finish it in 2023. Another one of those finishing whips kicks. I altered this one. I drew in the eyes. The background was just blank. That's just black paint. It got over the years that I wasn't working on it, and I would open it and say, oh, I don't want to work on this. No, I don't want to work on it. The black got messed up a bit, and I didn't want to repaint it because that just seemed too hard. So I just went over it with silky gel crayons and a stencil and made it look like, I don't know, cave wall with rocks or something. The thing that set me back on this page was I tried using ink tints here, and I didn't like the look of it. And so it took me a while to figure out how I was going to cover that up. So basically it was water-based, mostly water-based markers. I think some colored pencil. I think mostly I ended up covering it with water-based markers. Prismacolor. I think things are based and then Prismacolored on top. Some things like the dog is just water-based markers. Yeah. It's called Pride Ride. I finished it in June, and I'm like, oh, I got the perfect title for this. I hope June is Pride Month. Otherwise, I named it wrong, probably. I think at the time, though, hopefully, I think that was in the news. I'm not sure. Don't come for me. Okay. Johanna's Christmas. Love this one. I think I started in 2022, but I didn't finish it until 2023. I'm like the slowest of slowpokes. Love the Christmas page. I did all that plaid with paint pens. With paint pens. There's a base of paint and then just paint pens on top. And that was just about making a line, doing little stitch marks, making various thicknesses of lines and colors, and just going in different directions every time. It was fun. I had fun doing that. I also really liked how I made these cardinals because they're a Christmas bird in the U.S. I think in the the European area, it's some other kind of bird. Somebody told me what, but I can't remember what. I made them cardinals, and then I really looked at the different flowers and ivy, and I can't even remember what they were called, but I researched them. And I tried to make them as true as possible to what they were. It's not drawn realistically, so, I did the best I could. But I kind of look at things, I get inspiration, and then I come to the page and I just kind of do whatever I want. That's kind of how I roll. So, yeah, I really like that one. Came out nicely. One of my all-time favorites for this year, 2023. Desert Muse, Karlzon. This one, I love this one. I love the muted palette. Not a palette I feel like I use a lot, although I should use it more because I really liked it here. Again, that simple flat painting. On top I did, I think, various paint pins and gel pins and shiny stuff. I think that circle was there, moon, sun, whatever it may be. I added the clouds with the stencil and the dragonflies with the stencil. I like how I did the gel pen, the silver gel pen, in the plants. That is kind of how it looks in the desert. They kind of glint. Even though they're like dusty greens and dirty green colors, not anything bright, super green that you get in green places. They do have this way of glinting. A certain time of day, the plants just glint a little bit at you. So, did some cross stitching, some hatching, some dots. Yeah, I really like how this one came out. Maybe I should just do that simple flat thing more often because I like it. Ooh, also one of my favorites, Tropical World. This is what started the whole Millie Murata craze. Everything was in boxes. I was in a temporary apartment. I think I got this it was in boxes in storage, so not in my house. I think I picked up this one at a store because I'm in a town where there's stores and it's very exciting. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to give that a try. And then I did several in here because there weren't many choices to pick from in my little temporary apartment. But this is the one that started it all. And basically, I'm like, oh, this is what made me figure. This is when I discovered that, oh my God, I'm probably autistic. I was like doing this and listening to things on YouTube, and an autistic channel came on, and it's like, do you have these characteristics? You might be. And I didn't want to listen to it. I'm like, why would I listen to that? But I was like, I think I was painting something and I couldn't stop. And so, it played and the first 3 or 4 came on and I'm like, oh my God, I have all of those. And so then I was listening intently. So anyways, we're not going to go into that. There's a whole video about that. It's called Stemming for Adult Colorists or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, one day before that, I just wanted to do the background. I'm like, I'm just going to pick one color. We're just going to do dark green, and then the grasses on top of it will be lighter greens to pop out. So yeah, so that's what I did because it was stressful moving, starting a new job, all that stuff. I just needed to stem. And again, same thing with the bugs. Those are just, I don't think they're based. I think they're just paint markers and gel pens. That's it. The grasses are everything. Some are based in watercolor, some are based in ink tints, some are based in marker, some are just colored pencil, some have colored pencil on top, gel pens, paint pens on top. It's truly mixed media there. So I really, really like that one. And from earlier in the year, this was fun. It did not take very long. This is Dracula. I had envisioned this page, I think I bought the book because of this page. So I'm like, ow, this is I've made the old paper look old with silky gel crayons. I think I made the pages with water-based markers. That's just paint out there. And then I used my blood splatter stencils to make the splatters. I also splattered paint on there, but some of it is stencil-y. And then I worked off of the stencil and made it more splatty, I guess, if that's a word. That's not a word, but we'll say it's a word. I did color in some things with black marker. just to make them bolder and pop out. Yeah, this is where he sets his coffee cup full of blood on his newspaper. So I had total fun doing this. I think this is a color along on my channel too. So yeah, love this Dracula book. All right, that is it. My favorite pages from 2024 and 2023. Tell me what your favorite is in the comments. I look forward to reading them. All right, thank you. Live long and prosper. Bye-bye.